Derrick White said what about Jaylen Brown this upcoming season? We'll unpack his quote in just a moment. Plus, a new Celtics trade target at the center position you guys are going to want to stick around for on today's edition of Celtics Today by Chat Sports. I am your host, Tyler Smith, and let's hop right into this Derrick White quote because it's insane. He was naming his all-NBA first-team selections for this upcoming season. He said, probably Jokic, Giannis. That's probably the obvious ones. Luka Doncic, Shai SGA, and Jaylen Brown. And this isn't the first time that somebody has made a wild assumption about Jaylen Brown making the All-NBA first team this upcoming season. Chris Mannix of Sports Illustrated, when they were talking a little while ago about Jaylen Brown, they were saying that, he can make All-NBA first team. He actually expects Jaylen Brown to be an All-NBA first team selection this upcoming year, with Jason Tatum likely sidelined for all of the 25-26 NBA season. Now, I'm going to break down kind of who Jaylen Brown's competition is for All-NBA first team, plus what an All-NBA first team season looks like for Jaylen Brown in just a moment. But if you want to manifest that, if you want Jaylen Brown to make first team All-NBA, show me. Go down below, smash the thumbs up icon, like today's video if you want to say CJB with a big-time accolade under his resume. It's going to be tough. I'm not going to lie to you guys. There's a lot of good players. This is the most talent-loaded era of the NBA that we've ever seen. And you got guys like Anthony Edwards making leaps and getting better as his career progresses. He's not at the peak of his powers just yet. Donovan Mitchell just made All-NBA first team. So you got the competition there, plus the Cavs are going to be one of the best teams in the NBA next season. Stephen Curry, need I say more? Top 10 player of all time. He could easily make All-NBA first team this year with a good season in Golden State. Jalen Brunson has yet to eclipse that All-NBA second team. He is trying to get to that first five players. And then Kevin Durant. He's going to be playing with the Houston Rockets here this upcoming year, and he's going to have an easy opportunity. A lot of weight's going to be lifted off his shoulders, especially on the defensive end. He's going to put up a lot of offensive numbers there in Houston. So some stiff competition for Jaylen Brown. But he has put up seasons in the past that have signaled All-NBA type of selections. He's been a second-team player before. He's been a third-team player before. And if he can even replicate some of the numbers that he's put up in the past 4 seasons, he could be on his way to an All-NBA first-team selection. Look back to 2022, 2023, when the Celtics, unfortunately couldn't come back from down 3-0 against the Heat. I don't want to talk about it. Jaylen Brown, though, his best statistical season, 26.6 points per game, 7 rebounds a night. Some of his best efficiencies of his career as well, 49% from the field. He's gotten worse as a three-point shooter over the last 4 years, but he is as good of a driver, as crafty of a mid-range player as we have in this league. So you can kind of take the bumps where you get them with Jaylen Brown. And we've seen a large sample size of Jaylen Brown without Jason Tatum on the basketball court, and the numbers are eerily similar to those that we saw back in 2023 in Jaylen Brown's best statistical season. We have about a half-season sample size of this with 39 games played, 27 points a night, 7 rebounds. We know JT is one of the best rebounders at his position, so JB is going to have to kind of take up some of that slack. 4 assists a night, but Jaylen Brown's only gotten better as a facilitator, especially this past season. 50% from the field and 34.5% from three-point range, which is pretty consistent across the board for Jaylen Brown. Look, for him to make All-NBA first team, it doesn't really just come down to statistics. The Celtics also have to be a winning team. They cannot be out of the postseason race. They cannot be really in the play-in conversation, to be honest with you. How often do you see a player make All-NBA first team and their team not have a positive record, not be in the top half of their conference's standings? It just doesn't happen all that often. So the C's are going to have to be a competitive team, and that's probably going to be a little bit more difficult than Jaylen Brown putting up big-time numbers that are worthy of an All-NBA first-team selection. Now, what does Jaylen Brown kind of have as far as a leg up over some of his competition? You look at some of the names that we just talked about, Jalen Brunson, Anthony Edwards, who I think is overrated on the other end of the floor, Donovan Mitchell, Steph Curry, and who knows? Is Kevin Durant an all-defensive type of player at this point in his career? I would say no, but he's above average. What does Jaylen Brown have over all those guys? The two-way ability. His ability to put up 27 points per game, but also be one of the best, if not the best, wing defender in the league. So if the voters care about that sort of thing, then, Jaylen Brown might have the inside track to go out in there and securing an All-NBA first-team spot. Here's what he had to say about that two-way ability and what the biggest part of that kind of play is in the NBA. He said the conditioning is the thing you got to harp on here. He said, some people don't get the same amount of effort on offense that they do on defense. Most of our stars in today's game, they save their energy for offense. They don't play defense. That's fine. That's what we've known to love and enjoy. But I don't think that's basketball. You've got to give the same energy on both sides of the ball. That's what he said on a live stream. He was working out in the weight room and all that stuff. And I just love that my two best players, our two best players here on the Boston Celtics, they care about both ends of the floor. And look, an all defensive nod, I mean, that means the voters are in his favor this upcoming season. Could that give him the nod and the edge to making the All-NBA first team here? We'll have to wait and find out. But I do believe that Jaylen Brown is capable and is going to put up a statistical season that is warranting an All-NBA first team selection. Just kind of come down to wins. Here's what I have for Jaylen Brown's 25-26 projection here. It's numbers that are pretty similar to those of him without Tatum in his career. I got 27 points per game, 7 rebounds, close to 5 assists. I mean, those are All-NBA first-team statistics as far as the box score goes. The efficiencies, if he can get that three-point percentage to about league average, then we're in for a really stellar season for Jaylen Brown here. I'm looking forward to what we see from him because he's going to have a lot of responsibility. But at the end of the day, my hope for Jaylen Brown is that he doesn't end up qualifying for the All-NBA first team. Honestly, I'm not going to tell you how to fan. Don't tell me how to fan. I would like the Celtics to probably tank this upcoming season, to be honest with you. I don't really think they're going to be all that competitive, and I definitely don't believe they're going to win a championship with this roster. So my best course of action would be to not win as many games as maybe they could at full strength, and maybe have some phantom injuries come up in February and March, and we can get Derrick White, Jaylen Brown, sidelined and healthy for 2026-27. That's the priority. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. We'll talk about the Celtics trade target in just a moment, but I'm trying to get to 54,000 subs here on the channel by training camp. We need your help to get there. We are a little less than 500 subs away, so if you're a diehard Celtics fan, you want free informative content every single day, go down below and hit that sub button, and you'll get videos right here at Celtics Today. Like I said, we'll talk about that new trade target at the center position, the most glaring hole on the Celtics roster. Let's be all honest right now. But we'll tell you guys who it is in just a moment. First, though, get hooked up with this awesome deal. 40% off this Celtics hoodie at this link right here. Chatsports.com/BOS hoodie. That's chatsports.com/boss hoodie. Don't worry. You don't have to type it out. I put that link in the comment section and description of today's video. Keith Smith coming in with this NBA news that kind of, to me, triggers a new Celtics trade target here as Sharpe waived his implied no-trade clause on his new deal that he signed with the Brooklyn Nets. Sharpe was eligible for a no-trade clause because the 2-year deal that he worked out with Brooklyn includes an option, a team option in this case, on the second season. And if you guys are paying attention to anything else in free agency going on right now, that's kind of the holdup with Jonathan Kuminga and the Golden State Warriors. But let's talk about the Celtics right here and Sharpe, who is on a 2-year, $12.5 million contract, and at 23 years old, that is a steal. There's a team option on the second year of that deal. That money's not guaranteed, but if I were to be training for Sharpe, I would be guaranteeing all of that money in year 2. I would love for him to be a member of this Celtics team. What does he do super well? Offensive rebounding, shot blocking, rim running, lob threat. Look, I know the Celtics are trying to work out Gilgeous-Alexander right now, but he's not guaranteed, and Sharpe has heavily had a lot more NBA experience than any center on the Celtics roster here. Has yet to eclipse that 1 block a game, but, he's not a guy who's playing over 20 minutes a night. And he did enough in the time that he had last year in the 50 games that he played to put up 8 points a night, almost 7 rebounds a night. This is a true around-the-rim big, a little bit undersized, but guess what? He can move around the floor as well. So I'm all in on bringing in Sharpe, and that just kind of gives you a little bit more insurance as well in case Gilgeous-Alexander isn't the guy. Go out there and make a deal for Sharpe. It's not going to be that difficult, and I actually do believe that the Celtics could kill 2 birds with 1 stone by making a trade for Sharpe. So if Gilgeous-Alexander you don't think is the guy here that you could feel confident in starting for this full season and potentially next, then I would go out there and make a deal for Sharpe, a player who could potentially be a better archetype than Gilgeous-Alexander. My trade idea goes as follows. Trade Terrance Mann and Sharpe for Anfernee Simons and 2 second-round picks. So you shed a little bit of money already with this deal. Terrance Mann makes about $15 million a season, and Sharpe makes $6 million. So you're shedding off at least $5 or so million with this trade. And you also can end up flipping Terrance Mann. I'm sure somebody's going to want Terrance Mann at the trade deadline, so you could probably flip that contract and end up shaving, $20+ million off this Anfernee Simons deal. Only have to give up 2 second-round picks to be able to do it. I'm hitting accept on this trade. What do you guys think? Be the GM for me. Should the Celtics trade for Sharpe to shore up their front court a little bit? T for trade, P for pass. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments section. And I think that will do it for today's edition of Celtics Today by Chat Sports. Give me a follow over on Twitter at Tyler J. Smith. 2 H's because the H's sound because I am not. And make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Try to get 54K by training camp. We'll see you guys in the next one. And as always, let's go C's.